I'm speaking with Dave Smith. He's a comedian, commentator, host of the Part of the Problem podcast. You are close with some figures who I'd say, it's safe to say, provoke a lot of controversy. The big media figures I'm thinking of, Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens.
Sure.
You seem to be comfortable engaging with figures that a lot of people would consider beyond the pale. Why is that? And do you ever think that those two maybe in particular go too far?
Well, first off, I would say that, both Candace and Tucker, have millions and millions of viewers. And so I don't know about the framing that they're kind of controversial figures. They are controversial figures. I'm not disagreeing with that exactly. But it is interesting how, you'll always have, Brian Stelter type guys who are like this fringe controversial figure. And you're like, well, that's one way to say it. Another way to say it is a wildly more popular, wildly more successful at what you do than you are. But I think that, I've always been focused on issues of war and corruption and just things that are really so evil that whenever there's kind of a consensus amongst the establishment that this topic is beyond the pale or something like that, I'm like, wait, what? Everybody, because I'm old enough to remember, at this point, this is weird. I'm 41, so I'm transitioning into being an old person. And what's interesting about that is now you have I could go back 20 years and I remember it quite well. I remember what was going on. And all of the people who sold us a war based on lies where 1 million people got killed all still have their jobs. None of them are shunned in polite society. Yet I'm supposed to pretend that whatever, if Tucker talks about aliens or something, then that's beyond the pale. I don't really have that attitude with anyone.
Well, just speaking of specifics with Candace, sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
She's lately she's been getting in a lot of trouble for commentary that I think is quite clearly anti-Semitic. I've been covering her since her days when she was liberal and was on YouTube, and then she she was on Fox a couple times. She went to InfoWars, and then she had this big career as a conservative commentator, obviously. But the last couple of years, commentary's gone really extreme. She did a whole thing there where she staked her reputation on Emmanuel Macron's wife. She claimed that she was a man, which is obviously insane. Does that stuff give you pause about her, or do you see it as just kind of par for the course of a commentator like her and not something that would turn you off from engaging with her?
No, I don't. It wouldn't stop me from engaging with her. And I don't think, it's funny because there's so many little worlds out there. But actually, I was both me and Candace Owens were being let's say, sharply criticized by Nick Fuentes earlier this week because he does not agree with you and he does not think we hate the Jews enough. And so there's I don't know, there's all these different kind of angles of looking at this stuff. I do not look, I'm a Jewish kid who grew up with a single mom in Park Slope, Brooklyn. And my whole life was living in Brooklyn and then being a stand-up comedian. I am a product of almost the most diverse lifestyle and background you could have. I am not in any way, shape, or form. Let's just say, I don't even know exactly the best way to put this. I don't think anybody is without their bigotry, but I really don't hold ignorant prejudices about any group of people because I've been around every group of people. I don't have as strong an allergy to prejudice as a lot of people in this country do. I don't think if somebody, let's just say somebody is I don't really like Jewish people. I'm okay, that's you're right. All right. I'm probably not going to be your friend, but I'm not against having a conversation with you. I don't think that's correct that you have that view, but I don't know. Are you not again, you're not lying people into a war that's going to kill 1 million people. It's just kind of a view I disagree with. Personally, I don't think Candace every conversation I've ever had with her, both on air and off air, she's kind of bent over backwards to be I genuinely have nothing against Jewish people. I've loved Jewish people my whole life. My roommate that I used to live with is Jewish. I grew up going to bat mitzvahs all the time and stuff. I take her at her word on that. I think she's going down some conspiracies that she's like diving headfirst into, and I don't really know how much any of them are right or wrong. But I do think that like I find it very rich that, say, like Ben Shapiro and some of the stuff he's said about Arabs, you know, and then but then they can turn around and like someone like almost like Mr. Take the gloves off with every single group of people. Like Ben Shapiro, go watch some videos of Ben Shapiro talking about black people. And he has no problem taking the gloves off and being like, here's the problem with black people. This is what you guys do wrong. This is what you guys need to do right. And no one's ever like pressuring him like, wait, are you saying all black people don't take care of their kids or something like that? And he's like, no, I'm just looking at the statistics or whatever. It's like, okay, well, you're okay playing that game. I don't think it's necessarily, you know, the worst thing in the world that he says some of those things. I don't think it's 100% true, but maybe some of it needs to be heard. But then if anybody were to ever do that with Jews, he'll be the first to he turns into a woke leftist and starts just calling everybody a racist. I don't
recall
really
some
believe
deleted
in doing
tweets.
that.
Recall some deleted tweets about Arabs that were
Oh, I don't even think they're deleted. I think they're still up there.
Oh my.
I mean, I think he apologized for him or something like that, but I think he left it up there. No, but it was literally like something like how Arabs like to play in mud and blow things up and Jews like to build civilization. I mean, like real deal, you know, like hardcore bigotry stuff. I say what I believe. Whatever platform I go on, I'm going to say what I believe. And I'm never going to find a platform with someone who like they 100% agree with everything I say, or I 100% agree with them. But I really have enjoyed my conversations with Tucker and Candace, and I like them both as people.